My husband's divorcing me because he's upset I wasn't sad our marriage is falling apart. About 2 weeks ago I was on my way out to a work outing with my coworkers when my husband told me he wanted to talk to me. He said he's met someone new and that wanted to leave me. We have been together for 15 years, married for over 10. We have 2 children together. The feelings I had were a mixture of relief and immense pain, but mostly relief. We haven't been happy for at least 3 years, and beside intimacy and the children we have nothing in common anymore. We live 2 completely different and separate lives but under the same roof. I felt relief that one of us was courageous enough to pull the plug. I can't explain why I felt the pain though. He talked on about how we were going to do this, the children, the house, all that. He said that he had found a 1-bedroom and that he was moving out until everything was settled. I could keep the house. When he was finished I was about an hour late to the outing. I ordered an Uber and chose to wait for it outside. I got a text from one of my co-workers, Mark, that I was so late it wasn't even fashionable anymore. I took my phone to answer him, but I guess I got a text from my husband at the same time, so I texted him this in my language. Oh Mark, you don't know the half of it. My husband was dumping me, so that took a minute. I guess I'm free now. And a laughing emoji. Tell you more when I see you. I'm on my way. Since the beginning of the year, many of my coworkers were splitting and getting divorced. We were saying that our department was being cursed until Mark, the most recent one to separate, still going through divorce, jokingly said it wasn't a curse, it was freedom. I was referring to that, but my husband, who got the text instead of Mark, was angry about how indifferent I was to start joking 5 minutes after I was told my 15 years relationship was over. I explained about the curse to him. He didn't care to listen. Now he is refusing to move out and has gone back on the divorce. He doesn't speak to me and refuses to answer when I ask when he was moving out. One of the last conversations we had, he told me that he was planning on being generous with me during the divorce, but now he's going to take me for everything I've got and held dear. I told him that he can't because freedom is what I held dear. He slapped me hard across my face. This is the first time he ever done this. Later I heard him crying in the bathroom. I'm 42, my husband is 45, our children are 12 and 11, boys. Yes, my husband is someone new, he wasn't lying about it. A 25 to 26 years old that he works with. I don't know if he is sleeping with her or just fallen in love with and therefore was asking for divorce before acting on his feelings. I believe it's the latter. He has rented an apartment and was going to move out after telling me. He hasn't yet. I can't move out because I want to be with my children. No, I'm not having an affair with Mark. It happened that he was the one texting me when I ran late to the work outing. But I've been talking to him about what happened and he feels somewhat guilty. We're a bit closer now, but I'm not a cheater, and even if something happens between Mark and me, I'm waiting until divorce, or at least the separation is public if the divorce drags out for years like my husband now seems to want. I have self-respect and I have my boys to think about, so I would never cheat, neither physically nor emotional. I'm glad to inform you that I've found an apartment that's going to be available in September. I'm really relieved because now I don't have to feel like I'm trapped with an ex who doesn't know what he wants. I'm filing for divorce when I've moved out with my children. And hopefully he's going to be civil. Unfortunately, I had to be the one telling my children we're separating because he refused to break the news together with me. My heart is broken and I've been crying ever since. The look in their eyes of being let down makes me regret getting to this stage in our relationship without trying to fix it. My youngest asked me if he could do something to fix it, maybe be a better son. God, I hope they forgive us for breaking up their home. My husband is acting very weird. He's apologized profusely for hurting me and he is trying to initiate intimacy with me, and I find it weird and so wrong. He also told me his new girl wants children and he doesn't. He did vasectomy after our children, so I don't know how he's going to do it. He also talked about having her move into our home if I left. I told him that he needed to think about our sons. I'm not allowing him to introduce a new person in their life so fast and without it being a serious relationship. He asked me why I was jealous and I told him I wasn't. I just don't want my children to experience instability, so if he's going to let her move in, the children are staying with me until his relationship is serious. He's already having problems with this new girl before they even moved in together, and he wanted her in my son's lives? He said again I was jealous, so I dropped it. Finally he asked me where we went wrong. I couldn't answer him at first, but then I told him, we were probably never right. You hit your wife. Maybe it took you 15 years to show your real self, but you did it in the end, and I would never have loved a man who hit his wife. So we were never right. He cried.